What's going on, folks? It's been a while, but we're back with some deer season content. I know last year we only got 2 videos out. Captain Hook threw me for a spiral, and he was a really hard deer to hunt, and I will be the first to admit it. But this year is a new season, and we're gonna approach it a little bit differently. Last night I got permission on 70 acres. It actually is my wife's parents' property. They have 70 acres or a little bit over that, but they live a little over 2 hours away. So I went out, I put one camera out last night. I didn't take any with me. It was kind of just a thought in my head. I was like, well, why don't I ask them if I could hunt there? So I ended up stopping at Cabela's, grabbed a camera, put it out there. No pictures yet, I just put it out last night. And it is also a no bait township and county. I've never had the experience of no baiting, and I'm sure it's much harder, but we're gonna attempt that. The other 2 properties that I hunted last year still have my cameras on them. Made the mistake of leaving them out, not collecting everything. Today we're gonna go collect a few cameras from properties that I hunted last year. The property that Captain Hook was on last year, I don't think I'm gonna hunt again this year. I just don't think it's worth it to me, and honestly, it started affecting me in my real life, my work life, what this deer was doing to me and the things I was going through on this property. It just was not worth it overall, so I don't want to put myself through that again. I understand that deer hunting is hard, but this was a whole entire different situation, hunting on a farm, and yeah, just was not fun. Long story short, we're gonna go get the cameras. It's gonna be kind of a long, boring video, but I'll try and make it as interesting as I can. Also, let me know if you guys like this camera setup. It's better than carrying my big old heavy camera and everything. This is the DJI Osmo Pocket 3. This is what I set up on the tree that films me. And then I use my big camera to film the deer. But this is a lot easier to carry around. I can also just put it on a tripod, pick it up like this, walk around, and then when I'm ready to set it down and do something, I can just set it down. So without further ado, let's get into it. Let's go get these cameras, go get some batteries and possibly some corn. All right, guys, so we made it to the first property. This is the property that I hunted Captain Hook at last year. This is the cow farm. So last year I hunted down in the bottom of this farm, pretty much right in the middle, and that was where I first spotted Captain Hook. After I spotted him, I moved to where he was running around with these does. I had a good setup. I went and bought a saddle and everything was good. And then when the rut came around, Captain Hook decided to move to the right side of this property into a field and woods there. The woods was not owned by the property owner here, but the field was. But there was no good way to hunt it because I couldn't sit in any trees or anything like that. Because they weren't owned by this property owner, and the neighboring guy hunts as well. I just stopped and talked to the property owner just 5 minutes ago, and I kind of explained to her how I would hunt that. So she said that's fine, but I also told her I wasn't planning on hunting this property this year just because of the cows. But usually later in the year, the farmer keeps the cows further away from that area, and I think that's why the deer were there last year, because they don't go down to where the cows are at. Right now the cows are there, of course. So it might not be today, but some other day I'm gonna come out and I'm gonna put up a camera up in that area. Let's get over to the other 4 or 5 acres, grab those cameras, and get back on the road so we can go set some up. All right, so we are now at the 4 or 5 acres that originally started the whole series last year. So this is the property where we first got pictures of Captain Hook. There is one of the hang-ons we put up right here in this tree. You can see that's one of the hang-ons we put up. Not our proudest setup ever, but it works. Now I gotta remember which tree we put the camera on. Oh, there it is. This actually is the same spot we put a camera at very early on. That's one camera. Get that in the backpack, go over and see if the other camera's there. I can't remember if I put one out there or not. And then we're actually gonna go down onto the other property, the farm, and I think there's some stuff that I left down there. So I'm gonna get this sucker packed up and then we'll go to the next camera location. All right, we're just gonna make sure everything still looks good in this camera, no corrosion or anything. Like I said, I'm really bad at remembering to grab my cameras after the season. That's one thing that I should get better at, but this one still looks good. Batteries don't look corroded or anything. Obviously they're dead, so we got to put new ones in there, but no orange rusty look in there. That's a good sign. So this tree right here was the original tree that we got our first picture of Captain Hook on. I know you can't really see, but I'm standing on the kind of cleared out spot where the corn pile was. Not gonna lie, this is where I thought the camera was, but now I remembered that I moved down that way a little bit, so the camera's probably down there on one of the mock scrapes that I made. It was actually a spot that I hunted a lot in on the 2 videos that I posted. So we're gonna head down there, see if the camera's down there, try not to scare any more deer off. My memory, as you can tell, is pretty bad. Now that I'm remembering right, I don't think there is a camera down here. So I must have came and picked that other camera up already, which is okay, or it could be down in the field on the farm. So we'll check down there too, just to make sure, but we're gonna head down there now. I'm dripping sweat, it's hot, it's like 85 degrees right now, but we got to get this stuff done. So let's head down there. I jumped a little fawn that was bedded down right here, and you can see right there is where she was laying. And if I'm seeing this right, over here is another one. So I've hunted all my life, but I haven't been educated on hunting all my life as far as setup, preseason, deer movement, what they do. And the one thing that I found out is does, where they bed, it's the best position for them for a food source, a water source, and anything else they really need. They don't care if they're a little bit closer to people, if it's a good place for them with a food source, water source nearby, things like that. That's what I found out about does. But bucks bed in very discreet areas where there's not much activity at all. Bucks are okay as long as they're away from everything. They don't want to be around near any buildings, near any houses. They want to be in the most isolated and thickest place that they could possibly be to bed. I'm going to stop yapping. Let's go down onto the farm. Hopefully we can avoid the cows and get the rest of the stuff we need. I guess there's a camera here. I thought I took this one down. I guess I didn't. So we're gonna grab this one. This tree, there's a tree about 2 trees down here that you guys can't see. That is actually the tree that I was sitting in when I first laid eyes on Captain Hook. I'll put the clip in right here if I still have it. That's Captain Hook. That's Captain. He's right over there in the field. We're gonna grab this camera and then we're gonna keep on walking down a little bit and see if the other stuff that I left here is still here. They ripped it clean out, that antenna. Like I said, that's the cows for you. As far as corrosion, there's no corrosion in there, so that still looks good. This was one of my better cameras too. This was the Pro. The other one was just the X, and then I bought one that was just the X2, but this one's the Pro with the screen. So hopefully we can get this thing working again. It would suck if not, but let's get this camera in the bag and go grab our other stuff. Get back up to the car. I'll see you guys back up at the car. That's not a fun hike at all. But we got everything that we need. We're back up at the car. Got everything we need from this property and the neighboring property. And now we're gonna go to the other property that I hunted during gun season. And I'm pretty sure we have 2 cameras there to go get. So, and I'm gonna catch my breath, cool off a little bit. I am sweating, I'm glowing. But I'll talk to you guys at the next property. So we have the Pro that we picked up from the last place, and we're actually gonna put one out here. We're gonna put some new batteries in it and see if we can get it to work. If it does, then we'll go ahead and put this one out here somewhere. So that's the plan as of right now. Right behind me, right where this white post is where I had one of the cameras, and it was kind of pointed out here on this field edge. We're gonna grab this camera, and then we're gonna go ahead and head to the other camera. And if we find a spot to put this other camera in that we put the batteries in, then we'll go ahead and set it down. So let me get this one off the tree, and then we're gonna take a little bit of a walk. Let's hike over to the other camera, pick that guy up, see if we can't find a spot to put this one at as well. This little spot right here, there's a pond right at the top of this hill, right behind me right here. They actually have farm ponds here, so there's so many water sources for these deer. But this spot right here I call Skunk Alley, simply because we used to come out here and go frog gigging at these ponds with my buddy and all my friends. And at this spot right here, we would see skunks every single time. And it wasn't just one, there was like 4 or 5 of them out at the ponds at all times. So that's why I called this spot Skunk Alley. I just wanted to show you guys, thought it was pretty cool. All right, so right here on this tree is the other camera. Looks like a tree actually fell down. So let's get this one down, head up to the next field. This is another new Pro 3.0, as you can see by the screen. So I'd assume no damage to it or anything like that. Batteries look good. So yeah, we're good to go with this one. This one will be put out a different spot as well. Get this one packed up. See if we can't go find a spot to put this other camera out at this property, then we'll be done here. I'm just wanting to see what deer here. I don't really have my hopes too high. So this right here is kind of a 4-way stop. There's a path that comes down, there's a path that goes straight across here, and there's also a path that comes right up. So this tree right here, I'm gonna put the camera on here, I'm gonna set it up right here in the middle, and the field's only about 30 yards to my right here. So it seems like they travel this quite a bit. I'm gonna set up the camera right here. We got service, so I'm gonna get all that done, and then let's get out of here. Honestly, I'm hot, I'm dirty, I'm sweaty. Let's get this one up for right now and see how it goes. All right, so we got it set up. I can tell by the screen it's pointed right where we want it to be. Still working with a little bit of connection issues, but we should be good. I should be able to get it figured out. So I'm gonna stop the recording, and then I will talk to you guys back at the car. Man, I feel bad, but again, there's a building right there, there's a pond right here. They were bedded right there on the side of that hill, just in the grass. Like I said, it was 2 little fawns, but like I've told you guys, obviously fawns bed with does, and does bed for convenience. Like I told you, they're right here by a water source. Corn's right there, that's their food source. And around here they really don't get bothered, especially during the summer. I just had to show you guys that. Like, that's crazy to me. They were literally bedded right there. I walked right up on them. I'm just walking on this trail, and they're just laying there. I'm about 100 yards from the car, so let's get up there and let's get out of here. All right, boys and girls, so we are at home now, and I stink, I smell. I was sweating so much out there. It was really hot today. But we got all the cameras taken down that we had out there. We got all new batteries in them, so they're all ready to go. We did put one out at the property that I gun hunted. We put one out there, and then I also have a property on the new permission piece, the 70 acres. That's a little over 2 hours away. So now we're going to kind of try and see results from those 2 properties. Like I said, no high hopes for the property that I gun hunted last year. I do have some high hopes for the other 70-acre property. I have a good feeling about that property just because it hasn't been heavily hunted in the last like 10, 15 years. I know there's people that hunted it that just went and shot does for some meat for them to have in the freezer, but other than that, they didn't chase after big bucks or anything like that. So, like I said, high hopes for that. And yeah, I hope this video wasn't too boring. This is the type of video that I'm gonna do from now on, is just kind of vlog around and use that thing because it's much easier. It's so much easier for me. It's an easier setup. I literally just have it connected to my tripod, and I can set it up as a tripod, or I can close the tripod and I can carry it around like a vlogging camera. So yeah, it's a lot easier that way for me. Obviously, once hunts come around again, then we'll be, this will be our POV camera up in the tree, and then we'll have the big, nice camera out. Maybe every once in a while, we'll pull out my bigger camera and get some crazy, crazy footage. That's going to be super cool. But I just wanted to do this, talk to you guys a little bit, close out the video. I'm sure sometime this week I'm going to get out and put the rest of those cameras out, and I will be bringing you guys with me. Maybe one night we'll even go out and scout. So that would be a pretty cool video as well. Let me know what you guys think, if you guys like this style of video or not. If not, I can try and make it a little bit more interesting, but you can only do so much when you're putting out cameras and picking up cameras and putting out corn. Like, you can't do nothing too crazy with it, but especially with one guy. Like, I'm by myself, so I can't video myself while I'm doing that stuff. Anyways, I'm gonna stop yapping. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. I will see you guys very shortly here because I'll see you guys very, very soon. I'm planning on pushing out a lot of content this year for deer season, and I'm super excited about it. So without further ado, make sure you like and subscribe. Leave a comment down below on what you guys want to see in the future, and I'll see you guys in the next one.